How's your spring training been for you?
It's not been my best spring training,
Yeah.
but physically I feel good. I'm like getting my mechanics correct, and I'm looking forward to the season.
When you say not your best, I mean it's just like you're working on things, or just like maybe that results aren't what you necessarily wanted. Like, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like my first several outings, I just wasn't commanding the ball. I wasn't throwing how I'd like to usually throw. We just, have minor mechanical issues when you show up. Just like nobody's watching you when you throw your pins in the off season. So like we get here, you watch some video, you look at some numbers from last season to try and like match those, and then everything kind of gets on track.
Awesome. So you grew up in Texas. Like, what was your favorite team or like player like when you were growing up and stuff like that?
So my favorite team was the Rangers. I mean, I grew up like 15 minutes from the Rangers
Cool.
ballpark, so I went to a lot of Rangers games. Um, Honestly, I'd say Josh Hamilton was probably one of my favorite players for a little while, but also like I love watching Darren O'Day play when
Yeah.
he was with the Rangers. Love watching him, and so like I followed him up until he stopped playing a year or two ago. So yeah, Josh Hamilton or Darren O'Day.
Awesome. What can you remember from like your big league debut?
I remember everything about my big league debut. It was mid-season in 2017 against the Arizona Diamondbacks at their place. It was Paul Goldschmidt bobblehead night, Star Wars night as well. So they had a Star Wars Paul Goldschmidt bobblehead, and they had like 40-something thousand people in the stands in Arizona, which I know they don't sell out very often, but it was pretty wild. I pitched terribly, although I was lucky enough to only give up one run. I was throwing like 85 as opposed to my normal like 89, 90. I hit a guy, I walked a guy, gave up 2 hits to lefties, had to face Goldschmidt with bases loaded, and he grounded out with 2 outs, thank goodness. I got my first strikeout that game. That was Jake Lamb. First strike.
Do you keep that ball in like somewhere? You have like a place where you keep a bunch of memorabilia or things like that?
I do have that ball. It's on a shelf in my we have like a game room,
Yeah.
and it's on a shelf in there.
Okay, very cool. What was like your welcome to the majors moment, like off the field? Not like, okay, I'm not in the minor league grind anymore.
The first hotel I stayed in on the road was in Arizona, and we stayed at the Biltmore.
Yeah.
So that was definitely it.
No more, long bus drives and all that kind of stuff. Your private jets and everything.
Yeah, we had the chartered commercial flight, or the chartered big flight, and that was. It was pretty sweet. It's pretty special.
That's awesome. Okay, just a couple random questions. You go to the gas station. What's like your go-to essentials?
A Coke or Dr. Pepper, and if I was getting some candy or something, I'd probably go with like those Peachos
Okay.
or apple rings. Like
Yeah. That's awesome. If you can have someone write your like walkout song or whatever it might be, like what artist would you have?
write my walkout. I'm actually a big Rammstein fan, so
Okay.
I'd have Rammstein do something in English.
That's pretty cool. If you had to nail one karaoke song, Life on the Line, like you gotta get every word right. What song you singing?
Maybe like Walk the Line,
Okay.
Johnny Cash. Something
Yeah.
like that. Something simple.
Awesome. And let's end on this. What are 3 things you're grateful for in life?
My family. I've got a wife and 2 kids. Grateful for, more family, my parents. And finally, the way my life's gone, basically. Like everything that's happened in my life, I can't complain.
Yeah. Actually, I have one more question. You mentioned like your debut kind of didn't go as well as you want in a game of failure and stuff. Like, how do you stay like mentally tough, and maybe advice for some of the younger guys here on that?
You learn more from your failures than your successes. So like, take what you can every time you fail, and learn how to overcome that the next time.